In this video, I'm going to explain to you why home services business, service-based businesses in general, blue-collar businesses, they're getting calls and clients from Instagram in 2025, okay? It's wild, it's absolutely nuts, but I've seen it, I've helped people do it. Myself, I do it for my business, and you could do it too. And so this video, I'm going to show you how that is happening, why it's happening, and why you should start doing it like literally today, okay? So first we have to understand why Instagram. And that's pretty simple. If you ask any one of your current customers, any of your previous customers, if you haven't had any customers yet, ask yourself, are you on Instagram? Do you spend any amount of time on Instagram? The answer is probably yes. There's only small amounts of people who aren't on the platform. And it doesn't really matter because we're not going after the small amounts who aren't on the platforms. We're going after the large amount who are on the platforms, okay? So just right off the bat, a high percentage of people are on Instagram. And we want to be where the people are. And so that's why we advertise and do our stuff, our content, build our profiles and our brands on this platform. Okay. So basically the people are on the platform and they're just scrolling. They're just waiting for you to pop up and be top of mind. And so that's why we use Instagram. Okay. And the second reason is because Meta is the best social platform for businesses, mainly because of the DM feature. Okay. LinkedIn is climbing up in the rankings, but Meta in general has the DM feature, specifically on Instagram. And it is worlds above LinkedIn's, worlds above Facebook's. YouTube doesn't have a section where you can DM people, and TikTok is, well, not ideal for that either. And so that is important because the DMs are where you can start meaningful relationships and conversations that lead to help for a potential person who needs your service, okay? And so that is why we are on these platforms, is because we're able to communicate with them directly after they show interest. And even if you wanted to, you could reach out without them showing any interest by doing cold DMs, cold messaging, that kind of thing, okay? We're not gonna get into that in this video, but just want you to know, Instagram is where we can build real relationships with real customers, okay? So lastly, I wanted to talk about why Meta is simply the best platform. And I say Meta, and I'm lumping in Facebook and Instagram, but specifically I'm talking about Instagram. Meta owns Instagram. And so Meta has one of, if not the best advertising campaign platform ever. Facebook Ads Manager is incredible, right? And so it works with Instagram and Facebook. And so we use the paid ad aspect of Meta's format, Meta's platform, to target specific people. Okay, and this is super important because, well, if you have a certain demographic of person in mind that you serve, that's your ideal customer, well, you can target them directly on Instagram, which is super, super helpful, super nice. And we create our own ecosystem of these people, and that helps us stay in their top of mind for long durations of time. We'll get into that later. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is you can target direct people with paid ads on Instagram, and it's incredible. Chef's kiss, okay? So it's no accident that people actually crush on social media. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've seen people in your specific industry just dominating, get client after client, customer after customer, call after call from Instagram. And you're like, how the heck are these people doing it? Well, it's not by accident, okay? It's by design. And so in this video, I'm gonna help you design that roadmap for your own business, okay? And so I wanna maybe clear up some misguided communication or misguided thoughts that you may be having towards how do you monetize your social media? How do you make money from social media? It's not what you may be thinking. Business owners, right? Service business owners, whatever, they're not getting sponsorship deals. That's not how this works. They're not doing the dances. They're not hitting millions of followers and getting paid brand deals or sponsorships. Because that's just simply not how it works. That is for a whole different section of Instagram creator called entertainers, right? We're not entertainers, although we do sprinkle a little bit of entertainment into our content. We're not entertainers. We're not going for millions of views or this virality effect. We're going for real local people, real local clients and customers who are in your city, your town. Your neighbors essentially is who we're targeting, okay? And your neighbors are definitely on Instagram. Okay, so big picture, here's how this all works with the media flow method, okay, which is the method that I came up with to get more clients to book deals, book calls from Instagram. So for this, I want you to imagine, I'm going to draw it here on the screen, but I want you to imagine a funnel, okay? This is the easiest way to describe what we're talking about here. I want you to imagine a funnel, and a funnel is wide on top, narrow on the bottom, okay? And in this funnel, there's going to be 3 different layers, boom, boom, boom. And so it starts really wide, it gets narrow, and it's the same with our potential customers' journeys and how they come to the decision to call us as their service provider, right? And so not everybody's ready at first, because to be quite honest, and just the reality of life, not everybody knows who you are. And that's okay, because they will eventually, but not everybody knows who you are. And there's never gonna be a point in time where every single buddy knows you, okay? And that's why marketing and advertising is so important, is because there's people who don't know you that could use your service, and they can't use your service if they don't know who you are, okay? So that logic hopefully is coming through. But now this funnel here is the same journey that your clients take when it comes to finding you and using you as a provider. So let me start from the top, which is what we call the top of funnel, or tofu, okay? Top of funnel. And this is the awareness stage, okay? Awareness. This is where people become aware of who you are, aware of what you do, aware of how you help, okay? And we want people to come in here in more of a wide and broad spectrum, okay? This doesn't have to be specific to any sort of person or customer just yet. We want just quite a bit of people coming into this funnel, just so that more people know who we are and what we do, okay? And this is important because, well, like I said previously, nobody can use your service if they don't know who you are. And so once we get people aware, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how we get people aware, okay? Because that's super important. The way we get people aware is by paid ads and by organic video. So when I say paid ads, I mean you putting dollars behind your videos or your photos to get and target specific people, specific audiences. And then organic videos or organic content always refers to video content or photos you put out into the world, post on social media, post on Instagram, that have $0 behind them, okay? So it's just you're posting for your feed and for the followers you have and for some select people who may see that outside of that group. So organic is not a paid video, and a paid ad is obviously a paid video, okay? Just for clarity's sake on that end. But this is how we get people to aware of who we are. And so I want you to think about this. If you're a service business or you're a blue collar company or you're a home services business, think about it like this, okay? So we have flyers, we have banners, we have yard signs, we have handshakes, talking to people word of mouth, we have networking events. Things like this are all awareness tactics. These will all be considered top of funnel activities, top of funnel engagements, okay? And so people are saying who your company is, what you do, and how you help. And it's the same for Instagram, okay? We can do this with organic content and paid ads, okay? And so a flyer or a yard sign is essentially the equivalent of a paid ad, except the difference is you only pay for it once and you can stick it in the yard, right? But a paid ad is something you can pay for many times over and it gets shown to new people many times over, okay? So those are the differences there, and that's kind of what you need to know about this. Then of course, we have the middle of the funnel, which is called MOFU, middle of funnel. And this is our connection. This is our nurturing content. This is where people get to know who we are on a deeper level and actually build a relationship with us, whether it's a parasocial relationship or whether it's an actual relationship conversation. Okay. And so a parasocial relationship means you have a relationship with me through the screen, but I don't know who you are. Okay. And it's like, if you think about Joe Rogan, if you think about like these big influencers, these big actors, we know who they are because we've heard about them. We've watched their movies, watched their podcasts, watched their TV shows. We know who they are. We know what their name is. We probably know where they live. We know way more information about them than they know about us, okay? And so these parasocial relationships are essentially where the viewer knows the host, but the host doesn't know the viewer, okay? And so that same thing happens with local businesses. It's very common, and that's essentially what a social media relationship is, okay? So we have nurture here in the middle of the funnel, And this is where we really try to dive in and build relationships and build trust, okay? And the way we do these things is, again, organic content. And then we also do this by DM conversations. Okay, so the DM conversations are super important because it's a way for us to actually reach out and start real conversations with real local people. And so let's say, I don't know, Sarah lives down the road. She connected to you because she saw your ad. You said, hey, Sarah, thanks for following me. Like, I really appreciate it. We're down the road. We're like right over here off of May Street, you know, like off of 21st and May Street. We're like, are you in Round Rock? Are you in like Jordan? Like, where are you at? You know, just building rapport. Yeah, like we'd love to be your go-to. Like, I know you might not need this service now, right? Like, we're just building relationship and rapport. We don't want to sell them anything immediately because we don't want to sever or burn that bridge. We want to be able to have that tie strong. We want them to know your name. We want them to know who they're speaking with. That way, whenever they think of you or when they have that issue that you help serve, they're going to think of you and your company first because they're like, oh, I had a conversation with John on Instagram, actually. Isn't that super cool that the local like plumbing company, like they follow me and they actually know my name? Like, we go to the same, you know, church, our kids go to the same school, that kind of thing. Okay, so this is where we're nurturing people. Super easy, super relational, and very conversational. Okay, and so this is where the relationships really start to develop and grow, which leads to business down the road. Okay, so think about like, you know, your dad or your mom, or like they have their local person for a certain thing, right? So most people have a barber that they go to. That's my barber down the road, right? Most people have a local, mechanic. A local mechanic would be a great example of this because most people keep the same mechanic unless they just shop around. But that's not traditional. That's not how it usually works. You usually have one guy or one gal for a specific thing, and you go to them every time you need that thing. Very common, and quite honestly, it's super cool how like us humans can do that. It's like, it's cool. It's a God thing. Created the community aspect for a reason, right? And so that's the middle of the funnel. And then we have, of course, the bottom of funnel, also known as BOFU. Weird word, but that's what it is, okay? And so this is, again, where we're going to use DMs to create conversations, and we're going to get people on calls, right? We're going to actually get them to book a call or to call us whenever they have the need, okay? And so this is what we call the conversion phase, right? So we're going to get them off the social media platform to our website to book a call, specifically to book a call, because that is the best way to advance a sale in your direction, is by booking a call. And so this is the bottom of the funnel. It's conversion. It's where we want to take people to take that next step in your process to become a client or a customer of yours, okay? And so again, we're just helping them out. If they have any questions along the way, hey man, my roof is leaking. Do you think this could be a problem? Well, it just depends, man. Like, what do you got going on? Can you send me a picture of it? Is it okay if we swing by? So you swing by or whatever, you provide value and help them. And then when they have the problem or whenever it gets worse, they give you a call, okay? So bottom of the funnel is where we're converting. And so we can do this in some of our content too. I'm gonna write that, content. And the content is going to be a little bit more of a strong call to action, essentially, is what we're doing, right? And a call to action is where you're calling people, you're prompting them by telling them what to do. So an example would be like, give us a call if you're experiencing XYZ problem. We'd love to help you. That is a hard call to action. You're asking them to give you a call directly. A soft call to action would be like, if you're experiencing this and you want an evaluation, let us know. We'd love to evaluate it for free. No stress, no charge, no obligation. The difference is one of them is a harder sell. Give us a call. We'd love to help you with this service or this product. And then if you are looking for help, we will help you for free, no obligation. So it's definitely a little bit more evident on terms of which one is like harder or soft call to action. Okay. So bottom of the funnel is where we're actually making the sales and the conversions. And so your Instagram page is the best place to do this on social media in 2025 because of the fact of the DMs. We can run paid ads. We can create conversations and relationships. And easily the biggest thing is because we can demonstrate by video content how we do things, why we do things. We can educate them, we can inspire them. And then the biggest thing is we can show them who we are, who our character is, so that way they build trust and resonate with us on a level that's deeper than business, which is really why people book a call with you and use your service in the first place. Okay, so I'm gonna put here video equals king trust, because we want people to trust us so that they use us every time they have a problem. Okay, so I hope you guys found this valuable. And if you need help setting up your Instagram to generate leads, to generate calls, and to get more customers in the door, I'd love to help you. I actually help people with this every single day, and we're getting pretty dang good at it. And so if you need help, click that link in the description. But in the meantime, I hope you got some value from this video, and I appreciate you watching this video. There's gonna be many more like it to come. And so hope this helps. Utilize it, get on Instagram. God bless. We'll see you in the next one.